All right, hey everybody. New day, new reason to be on this Omega. Another episode of Advice Roulette, the advice segment that I do on this channel where I give people advice. Hey man, what's going on? All right, well, anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Let's see what lives we're changing today, shall we? Hello, blank wall. Hey, how are ya?
Hi.
Showing you my hands. I'm not touching myself, so. Right? I love how every time I mention that, it's like everyone's just like, oh my God, yes, yes, please. Oh, thank God there's someone on here that's not finessing their body. Oh, sounds like you guys have a scenario. Hmm?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. How can I help?
Why don't boys communicate?
You're coming with the hard ones, the tough questions, the real issues.
I've been talking about this all day.
Why don't stinky boys communicate? Well, let's see. There's how much time do you have? Do you have like a week? No, I'm joking.
I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, do you have a week to like sit here and let me talk to you? So the reason why boys don't communicate, and men, boys, whatever the case may be, the reason why men, and I don't say they don't communicate, there's just different ways that boys communicate that aren't always verbal, right? So as girls, you like talking things out. You like having conversations, you like getting out your emotions and feelings, right? Boys don't necessarily, they're not good at doing that because I think it's a mixture of not knowing how to, not feeling comfortable to, and not knowing that there's a space where they can. Even though you, like as a girl, is like saying, "Hey, talk to me, communicate, hello," and just like, well, I kind of feel dumb because this is dumb. You know what I mean? Like that's. I'm not saying that's like how they talk, but it's. I think it's hard for them to communicate because
Kind of. Sounds like it.
it's pretty accurate, right? Pretty spot on. But no, I honestly I think boys don't know how to communicate because they don't know that it's okay for them to, right? They have probably been told all their lives where, all right, in the sense of their emotions or the sense of their thoughts, where they don't have to show those things. They have to be strong. They have to be masculine. They have to be like, all right, emotions. I'm not gonna cry, because there's just like this whole notion of if boys do cry or if they do share, then they're weak. You know what I mean? So like I think when it comes to communicating, even if it's something very simple, right? They kind of fall short of communicating because they've probably been conditioned in the past that communication equals weakness, right? So and it shouldn't be an excuse, right? It shouldn't be an excuse for them not to at least express themselves. I think guys express themselves in different ways. It might not be verbally, but either through like nonverbal cues. So like let's say give a scenario. Just make up a scenario where like you're asking a guy to communicate.
Like when we're trying to find somewhere to go eat.
Oh, perfect example, right? So
They always make us choose and we don't care.
right. Oh, this is
I know he has an opinion. Let me hear it.
This is a conundrum that spans the dawn of time. I think in the caveman days, the cave woman was trying to ask the caveman where to eat, and the caveman would just grunt like, and caveman was like, "Oh, why don't you choose?" And caveman was like, "I don't know. It's up to you. I don't care." And I think that's really just been sketched in the walls of the cave people that this choice of where to eat has been quite the issue. But yeah, so when it comes to that, guys usually rely on women to communicate for them because they are either lazy or they just like it's just too much brain power. They get overwhelmed. I know for me, like a while ago when I used to like go out on dates and stuff like that, and they're like, all right, well, what do you want to eat? And they'd be like, all right, whatever. And then I'm just like, all right, gosh, now I have to choose. Ugh, more work. But it shouldn't have to be the case, right? I mean, I think it's just a matter of in certain cases like that, guys being lazy. He can simply make a decision. He can make a choice, but he doesn't want to like, I guess, take away from your choice in that case. So it was like, all right, well, I know where I want to eat, but I want to see where she wants to eat because in case like she says something, then they try to, like, men try to play chess in their brain, that they try to predict what you're going to say, so they say something that might cater to what you're saying. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of overthinking, a lot of unnecessary overthinking. So with that very simple question, like, hey, what do you want to eat? And they're like, all right, whatever, I don't care. There's like, all right, well, if I say this one place, she's going to say no. But if I say this other place, she might say no too. So I'm not going to say anything so she could choose. So in case she chooses that she doesn't like it, it's her fault, not mine. Right? Now you see how one simple question turned to like 15 different like alterations of what he's maybe thinking in his brain is going to happen. When it's probably just very simple, where he just gives an answer and you're like, okay. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, that was easy. Because it really is that easy, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes as women, you just don't want to choose where to eat. So it's like, hey, choose a place. I'm good. Or sometimes it might not be that easy. Probably you guys get really picky and it's like, oh gosh, why would you choose that place? So sometimes you gotta blame yourselves. It's not always the guy's fault. Like, but yeah, I think when it comes to that level of communication, very simple stuff. Like, men tend to overthink when it comes to communication when it really is that simple. And you shouldn't necessarily have to like encourage a guy to like communicate in the sense of it being like, all right, hey, just talk to me. Like, it's fine. Everything, like, you shouldn't have to baby him to communicate, but you should at the same time just let him know, like, hey, it's all right. Like, keep it simple. It's not that serious. Just choose a place. I'll be fine. Right? So it's less like, all right, come on, sit down, talk. What's going on? Like that. Guys don't like that. Then it's like, oh God, I have to talk. Ugh. Use my words. Ugh. Why don't you just tell me what's wrong and I'll just say, cool, babes. Like, like,
Yeah.
because for them, once again, it's either they're lazy or they just don't know how to communicate, right? But if you kind of just break it down to where it's like, hey, look, I just want to chat, or hey, I just want to know where to eat. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. Everything's cool. Whatever you choose, I'm completely fine. And you actually mean that, then, oh yeah, makes it so much more easier. Uh, for men, unfortunately, for some men, it's all about alleviating the pressure to communicate. Once they feel like there's no pressure, then you'll see that they'll open up so much. Once there's no level of like, I guess, consequences, or like, oh my gosh, if I say something, it's gonna be an issue. This is gonna be a talk later. Like, but if it's like, hey, if it's something as super simple as like, hey, where do you want to eat, or hey, like, which movie you want to watch, and it's like, okay, well, whatever I say, it's not gonna be a huge deal. All right, cool, yeah, make a choice. Boom, there you go. But once again, it shouldn't be that way. But unfortunately, for some guys, you kind of have to, unfortunately, create a safe space to where communication for them is not like a huge chore, and it's just like, all right, cool, we're all communicating because it's extremely simple. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
good.
It's certainly something to practice, but once you kind of get used to it, like, once again, guys and girls communicate differently in general. So you just have to kind of tweak it a bit to where you can still communicate what you're thinking, but tweak it to a point where they just feel more comfortable with sharing, instead of being like, oh my gosh, oh no, if I say something, if I communicate, what happens now? Yeah, and then I think you should be fine there.
Thanks.
Oh, great. I'm glad I helped. That's the best that I can explain about guys. I mean, guys, some guys are just trash. Let's be honest, ladies. Like, some guys are trash. Not all, but some. But once again, if you get a decent guy that could at least communicate okay, then with practice they get much better.